So as the card progressed, now we get into the show.
Yep.
It led off with Brian Cage versus Hangman Adam Page. Before we get to what is your gripe with Brian Cage?
Okay, so yeah, well, off camera we would talk about. I don't find him particularly interesting. He's a big, athletic guy. I've seen big athletic guys before. You know, a la
Head of the table?
Lesnar, and no, head of the table.
Head of the table?
Something better. There's nothing better than the head of the table. But no, we're gonna not talk about that other company tonight. Brian Cage just kind of, I don't know, he's very generic to me, but I will not take away the fact that he's incredible athletic ability. And he impressed me quite a bit tonight. Like, I've seen him a couple times on Dynamite, and I've been like, I don't really give a shit about him because I'm a big Taz fan. I love Taz. So I've been like, okay, I'll deal with anything that has Taz. But I was like, come on, this is just going to be a lame opener. It was not a lame opener.
It definitely wasn't.
It was fantastic. One thing I found is maybe the angle bookings tonight weren't the best, but the in-ring booking of whoever is calling these matches was wonderful.
So you're giving Tony Khan the credit and praise for being a good booker.
Yeah, for the actual in-ring.
Because I'm pretty sure it's Tony Khan.
It was fantastic tonight. All around, I mean, you could see. And it was funny because there was a lot of kickouts tonight. A lot of near falls.
It has become the norm with a AEW style match.
But you know what? I love that. I realize that is what I love about wrestling. That gets me like, when you feel so connected to a match that like you're like, no, whoa, like you're invested in it. Like that's masterful.
But you can't do that for every match, and
that's
that's the
problem.
theme of the entire night.
That was the theme of the. No, I think you can do it for a pay-per-view. I think you can have that.
They do it every Wednesday,
but they can't do it every Wednesday. Exactly, that's the problem. It's like, you know, it gets to the point of ridiculousness and. You know, no finishers protected lately.
Exactly.
Except for one, and then we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So in contrast, what is your opinions on Hangman Adam Page?
I really like him. He's come into his own. I liked him from the beginning when he's been introduced to me through AEW. It's the only place I've seen him. I haven't seen him anywhere else. I'm not familiar with him. But I remember when it was 2019, I believe, when AEW really came onto its own, it was starting. It was down between him and Jericho for the first world champion.
Right.
I did not, and I will stand by it then, and I think I was 100% right. Jericho was the perfect person to have as the inaugural AEW champion.
Of course, he was the name.
He was the name, and he gave them so much recognition, but he gave some of his best work on the mic that he's ever done in his career. He was so fantastic. And let's just say this right now. Judas is the best ring entrance music of all time. It's so good. There's no other ring music that gets the crowd hyped and into it like that. It's just perfect. And when you think of Jericho having good entrance music before, this is just like another level. It's so good.
But we'll get to Jericho.
We'll get to Jericho. He's obviously, you know, a big place in my heart. No, Brian Cage did a great job. He's opened my eyes.
Brian Cage? Oh, or Adam Page.
No, Brian Cage. Brian Cage has opened my eyes to his talent now, and I'll be watching in a different light. Adam Page just proved what I already knew. He's really, really, really solid worker. I think he's got a great character. Mm-hmm. He's very over with this crowd. He's very over with this fan base. And I can see him. I can buy him as a champion down the road. You know, it's not something I feel like's being stuffed down my throat. He definitely can carry that ball, I think. And
I think you can.
I think him versus Omega would be a great match. A great match.
You can feel the build up already. You know, they were the tag team champions together.
I was about to say, didn't they have? Yeah.
Right. They split up. They had their singles match at I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but ever since then they've been traveling their own separate roads. But I feel like the you know, the worlds are going to collide with them very soon, and it's very believable. If you're gonna have Omega lose to anybody, Hangman Adam Page I think is is a great choice. Is a perfect option. They have the history. Exactly. Yeah. But what did you give the match? The opener. How did you see it?
It was so good, but I'm going to give it a 2.5 count. I think
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. Only because there's a lot on this card that,
I just want to point this out. So, at the time when we were watching it, when it was real time, it was a 3.
I gave it a solid 3 because it was like, you know what it is? It is that old Eddie Murphy joke where he talks about on Raw, when he did his performance and he says...
No, the crackers?
The crackers and the Ritz. It's exactly what it is.
It's the best cracker I ever had.
Yeah.
When you haven't had it in a long time and then you
have a cracker and you're like, hey, I just had some regular old crackers.
I just had some regular old crackers.
So I could relate to that so much because it was like we were starved for a crowd reaction, that kind of a level of passion in the wrestling. And we got it from 2 matches in a row.
Yeah.
And so we're like, man, nothing's going to beat this. Nothing's going to beat this. And then the next match comes along and smokes it out of the water. And you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's true. You
got to put it in perspective.
That's true. I'm going to give it a solid 2. I was caught up in I was a prisoner of the moment too. I love Ricky Starks. I love Team Taz. I think Brian Cage is amazing. I think Adam Page is great. A 2 count isn't a bad rating. It's above average.
Yeah, 1 count isn't great.
Yeah,
2 count is good.
But I would say I would watch that. I would watch that opener again.
I would absolutely watch the opener again. Yeah, it was pretty smooth. I mean, there was no flubs in that match that I noticed.
And they're both big guys, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he did the buckshot lariat. When Brian Cage did the attempt,
he went for the buckshot lariat.
I was like, shit. Even I had to take notice. And then there was this jump he did at one point up to the turnbuckle and grabbed him for a suplex.
Yeah.
It was just like a cat leaping up there. I'm like, damn, that is some prowess for a man who is freakishly large like that.
These guys did a great job tonight.
Everyone did a great job, but we'll get to that. That was fantastic. I give it a 2.5.
2.5. And you would rewatch it.
I would rewatch it.